Bangladeshi community, but leadership in Queens, period. He's been an individual and a friend that I've always been able to rely upon, to listen to learn from, to get recommendations from, of how we can make our communities a better place. And so he too has focused his life on making public space better. He's given himself, no matter what kind of work that he's done, he's given himself to the community. Because he's taught me a long time ago that it's about community and how we build community and how we work together that will build a better future. So I really owe a deep thank you to Moshe for all that he's done and continues to do for our communities. Let me also give a shout out to my district leader, who is just a dynamite young man who hit the streets working. And he became a district leader not because somebody gave it to him, because he worked hard to do it. And he brings unity to the table.
Yes.
And he is an individual that can see the future. Why can he see the future? Because not only is he the present, he's also the future. And Richard David. I am happy to see all of you today. Happy to see you here. Because each and every one of you who may have come from Bangladesh, but by you coming to the United States, you have made the United States a better place. The reason why I say that is because when you think about the true experiment of the United States, it's about bringing people together from all over the world to bring your heritage, your religion, your culture to America, to share it, to work together. Because while you being here, we learn that we all are the same. We're all human. We all want better lives for our families. We all want a better world. And you teach and you bring that unity and understanding by you being here. It's the reason why the United Nations is in New York, bringing nations and people together. And it's the reason why Queens County in particular, where as indicated by both Moshe and Richard, I'm the chair of the Queens County Democratic Organization. The reason why I am so proud of Queens County is that this is the most diverse county, not just in New York City, not just in New York State, but it is the most diverse county than anywhere in the United States of America. So you help make us the shining example for the nation of how people come together for the betterment of humankind. And I am so proud that for many of you, I think probably most of you, I'm also your representative in Washington, D.C. And with that comes a tremendous responsibility for me. Because I have to make sure that while I am in Washington, and on the floor of the United States House of Representatives that I'm bringing issues that are important to you, that I'm talking about positions that are important to you, that I'm doing things that will make a difference, first for you and your families right here in the United States, to make sure that you're interconnected and have accessibility to government and to opportunities in the United States, that you're not discriminated against, that you're not profiled, that you're not individuals who are seen as anything other than who you are. Members of the great community of Queens County, the city of New York, and the great country of the United States of America. Now, I have other responsibilities now. I am chair of the House Foreign Affairs Committee. And I'm so proud of that, primarily because of you. When I ran to become chair of the office, one of the things that I told my colleagues is the reason why I felt that I was best qualified to be chair of the House Foreign Affairs Committee is because I have the Bangladeshi community in my district.
Thank you.
And all that it represents. And all of the communities around the world that surrounds it. And that gives me the idea to think and to move on how we can make the world a better place. So as my brother talked about, responsibilities that I have and what he wants me to look at. Because I know that you are here in America, but many of you still have relatives in Bangladesh.
Yep.
And many of you still have affinities in Bangladesh.
Yes, sir.
And many of you are watching every day what's going on in Bangladesh.
Yep.
Some of it you like. Some of it you don't. Some of it but you want your native land to be full of prosperity and democracy, where they're treated fairly and have opportunity in the native land. And want the United States of America to deal and work and have a very good relationship with Bangladesh. And that's part of what my job and responsibility is. Now, I think Richard David just mentioned that I actually, you have to excuse my voice, and I'm a little jet lagged because I literally just got back from the Ukraine, where there's this big thing that's going on between Ukraine and Russia. I also know that then last night, when I got back, I had to go to another meeting. And that meeting was with the Emir of Qatar and the situations that are going on in Afghanistan and surrounding communities, which touches on the situations dealing with Bangladesh, dealing with India, dealing with Pakistan, and how do we work to make sure that there is a peaceful world there and democratic institutions that present itself and preventing violations of human rights. Which brings me to this. And then I'll be ready to open it up and answer any questions. The first thing that I think that we have to acknowledge and say that over the last 71 years, the progress that Bangladesh has made in its independence is tremendous. And as I look in this room, I'm sure many of you have had your hands in on the independence of Bangladesh and worked hard and want to make sure that those institutions continue to grow, as you've indicated. And the United States assists in helping build those institutions, which is why the United States has given a substantial amount of money in the aid to Bangladesh to help build those institutions. And what we've seen over that period of time is the rise in Bangladesh of the population, which once was a completely low income country, that has risen in a short period of time to a moderate country income-wise, with the potential to grow even more. One of the things that we have also seen, which is what I think that we've got to work with, especially in the last election, is the seemingly a recess of some of the democracy and institutions and elections. But some have said that the last election could have been more transparent and fair. So it's important to focus on it, and what we're focused on right now, and I'm focused on the committee, that as we approach elections in Bangladesh in 2023, that we make sure that the democratic process is in place for free and fair elections, so that the will of the people of Bangladesh determines its leadership and helps stabilize its institutions. So it's not for us in the United States and in the United States Congress just to sit back and criticize. It's for us also to try to help. Why? Because Bangladesh is an ally of the United States and an ally of democracy, and we got to make sure that we stand by Bangladesh. And we will. One of the reasons why, y'all one of the first few to hear, but we haven't set the date, but that's one of the reasons why I am planning sometime in this year to visit Bangladesh.
Good. Yes, sir.
Welcome. Welcome.
And talk and engage and have conversations with its leaders, both those that are in power and those that are out of power. Because when you go, you got to have conversation with both, similarly as we do here in the United States. It also means, though, that I've also got to talk to those individuals, because I've had, and I know some of you have heard, we've got to work if there is violations of human rights, whether it be here in the United States of America or any place else. We've got to stand up and speak out and prevent it from occurring. That doesn't mean you turn your back on the people. It means you make sure you deal with the people, because it's for the benefit of all, as we do here in the United States. And so we have had these conversations about a certain group in Bangladesh who human rights groups have said have committed or associated with some human rights violations. So we need to talk about that. We need to fix it. And we need to work together. And here's where I use your help, because of your connections and your nexus to people in Bangladesh. You may have people that you're talking to that's on the ground right now. You may have information that we don't have. And so therefore I rely upon you, my constituents, to give me that information. Which is why I intend on going, because I have found that I've learned more about a situation on the ground when I talk to the people. We have people on the ground, and when I go visit it for myself on the ground. That's what I just did. That's why this came from Brussels, as well as Ukraine. And I come back knowing and understanding more of what's taking place there than I did before I left. So in talking to you, it will help me shape my policies toward Bangladesh. It will make me make determinations if I need to do hearings on the matter. It makes me make the determinations of who I should speak with in that regard. And it educates me in general on the appropriate policies that the United States should have with Bangladesh. I conclude by saying, I also want to make sure that while you're here, those that are here, I want to make sure your lives are better here in the United States. I want to know the issues that are involving you directly, your businesses, education, your children, your health care, your well-being, your opportunities. I want to know what we can do in my office to make your lives right here in the United States much better. That means having dialogue, conversations, listening to one another, and working with it. So my dear friend, Morshad, thank you so very much for bringing us all together.
Another one is because of historically, you see, U.S. has been first that some of the state countries and not state actors, which has completely strained the relation with the U.S. There's no option right.
আমরা যে এটা দেব একটু চাইন একটু ছবি তুলে
But